Yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel again. Jaguar Wright crashes Diddy trial. We're going to see. Yo, I don't know if she's been subpoenaed to testify. I don't know. But I'm going to tell y'all this. If Jaguar Wright gets on that stand, ooh-wee. Appreciate all the love and support. We ain't going to waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
As the Diddy trial is opening up, people keep making this all about Diddy rather than looking at everything that's happening around it. There's a lot of people that want to protect the Diddy agenda because it serves them, because allegedly they're all accomplices. Like I said last year, after the Cassie Diddy case was made public for the world to see on CNN.
If Kim Porter hadn't done what she done, there would be no Cassie to testify.
You know, Mr. Combs, SC and SC, thing 1 and thing 2. They've been covering each other's ass a long time, guys. Y'all don't see what's going on? The death of Angie Stone.
I notice how she's talking in code because, you know, ever since that Piers Morgan interview, when they be trying to get, you know, people to take videos down and all that stuff. So I see what she's doing here. Okay.
Clive Davis, Diddy. Rock Nation on the verge of utter collapse. What happened to Tory? Find a way to blame it on him. Now all of a sudden he was trying to start a race. Just so happens that he gets half the day. As the Diddy trial is opening up.
They trying to sell him out so he'll feel too embarrassed to file his lawsuit against Diddy for what Will and Diddy did to him. With Jaden and Justin present, that tape exists.
Jaguar Wright isn't letting up on Diddy at all because she just crashed his trial and provided the prosecutors with some never-before-seen tapes of Diddy. Jaguar has been on Diddy's neck about Bryce Sheer way before he was arrested, so there was no way she was gonna watch him go down without making the world know what he did to that poor boy. Now Bryce Sheer is on Twitter selling himself on OF for chicken change, even though he could have been the next big actor in Hollywood. According to Jaguar, Diddy and Will Smith allegedly took turns, and when they were done wrecking him apart, they passed him around the industry to other powerful people till they turned him out.
Again, boy, look at Catface. Wow. I ain't saying this stuff is true, but with everything that's been coming out, would it be shocking? All the stuff we've been hearing from this trial, all the freakiness he's into, would this shock you?
Williams didn't lie when he said P. Diddy be wanting a party and you gotta tell him no. Now, for those of y'all who are still somehow out of the loop about what happened to Bryce Sheer, he was handed to Diddy and Will for a mentorship program when he was 17, but barely any mentorship happened while he was with them. His then manager, Charlie Mack, wanted Diddy to build up his music career while Will helped him with his acting career. But according to Jaguar, they gave him the whole time and left him soulless by the time they were done with him. She first spilled the tea about this when she accused Will and Diddy of using their so-called mentorship programs to trick off activities in exchange for a chance to make it big in the industry. Jaguar said one time these freak-offs got so brutal that Bryce Sheer and Meek Mill were heard by Will's neighbors running out of Will's house on and screaming for help. It's unclear why exactly they were running out of there, but people believe the alleged freak-off had been going on for hours at that point, and it was beginning to take them in and out of consciousness. And considering the fact that Cassie recently admitted to the freak-off, sometimes lasting up to 4 days, this rumor sounded believable to a lot of folks.
They're both bisexual. They do weird things in their house, and young men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mills. Bashir Gray.
I remember when she said this.
Left that house screaming.
So it's stuff that is resurfacing. Again, I don't know who's going to be called on the stand. It seemed like somebody new was coming. I know Kid Cudi is supposed to come up there, like I said in the other video, but again, I don't know who else. I just want to see if all this stuff Jag has been talking about and people like Gene Deal, if all of this stuff is going to come to the light finally. Because they said this trial could be like 8 months. So brace yourselves. People gonna be, if this stuff come out, people gonna be coming back to these videos like, damn, they were right. They were right.
August the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed dog.
What's even crazier about this is that Terrence Howard, who was Bryce Sheer's co-star on Empire back when Bryce Sheer was first introduced to Diddy and Will, recently made some comments about powerful people in the industry. Now, as I said, people don't think any mentorship actually happened because after Bryce Sheer got out of it, he was never the same again. He was thrown out of the industry, barely got any roles, and the next thing we heard was of him getting into multiple legal issues and even DVing his girlfriend. For example, in 2022, he was arrested and found guilty for aggravated assault against a woman he was hooking up with at that time. But this wasn't his first run-in with the law because back in 2020, his wife was rescued by a man at a nearby gas station after she had gone there asking for help.
I didn't even know
People
he was
didn't
married.
even know he got married till this mess came up. She told the police that Bryce Sheer, when the police pulled up to his house to arrest him, he refused to come out of the house. It took hours of negotiations between the SWAT team and Bryce Sheer to get him to come out of the house. And when his mugshots were released, people couldn't believe how much of a mess he was looking like.
One of the stars of the hit show Empire. Tonight we're seeing hours of new video from his July arrest that ended with his wife flagging down police and telling them her for hours inside their Goodyear home. The bizarre jailhouse interview lasting for 2 hours as they try to piece together a chaotic chain of events.
And as if things couldn't get any messier, Jaguar came back again right when all this was happening and gave even more details about what Diddy and Will allegedly put Bryce Sheer through. She confirmed the allegations about Charlie Mack being a link between Bryce Sheer and the touching him. But this is where things get even crazier. Jaguar also revealed that the reason Charlie was able to pull that off in the first place was because Bryce Sheer's mom, Andrea Mayberry, was also in on it, and she allowed everything to happen.
And when I say,
You know, when I be talking about where the parents, we be like, man, where the parents, where the parents? Look, man, that almighty dollar, when people see those dollar signs, money that they know they never gonna get in life, and that's presented in front of them, they will literally hand their kids over. Literally. So, yeah. There you have it. There you have it. Some people be like, what? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Andy, I'm talking. She
Going
that
off.
me and begged me for my help. I told her to get the away from Charlie. I did everything that I could do to help her get Bashir out of California into Chicago State to be ready for filming. She knew what Will did to him.
Jaguar also claimed that after Cassie filed her lawsuit, Bryce Sheer was also in talks with lawyers to file a lawsuit against Will and Diddy, but he was allegedly and had to pull back from it because his life was in danger. Jaguar even went as far as claiming that there was a secret tape of Justin Bieber, Will, Jaden, Diddy, and
Getting your son out to be, that's for sure. Because he didn't.
So, I don't know if the narrator of this video is saying things. When she says stuff, I'll be waiting for Jag to say it. Like she said that Jag saw the tapes, and then Jag said those tapes exist. I don't know if, it didn't come out of her mouth that she's seen these tapes, but I will say this. When you're dealing with the higher ups and you be trying to report stuff, like, depending on who is going to affect, it ain't that easy to just be like, yo, y'all need to put this person in jail. I have this information, because they'd be like, hold on. If he go to jail, then he's going to jail. We can't have him going to jail. You know what I mean? You got to be like, It's all about who the hell can you trust. Because when it gets dark, it gets dark. And they be trying to protect people, bro. So, like, who the hell can you trust in this industry? So, again, I don't know. But, boy, hey. It just reminds me of that movie, The Sound of Freedom, man. Dark, it gets dark.
Have no choice. You was down. Sheer conversation for me is not easy. Because I came to Belial and I asked Belial to help me save the kids, and all he was worried about was his book.
And now when it comes to the exact lawsuit she was talking about, people believe it's the $50 million lawsuit against Diddy and Will, which Bryce Sheer was previously reported to be working on. This suit was revealed by a blind item, and it read, "I suspect the soon-to-step-forward male victim of sexual by this A-list mogul will not be the last man to do so. Sean Diddy Combs." Now they are working to subpoena Bryce Sheer so he can come in as a witness and testify against Diddy in court.
Is this true? I don't know. I don't know if she came there with no tapes and handed them off. I don't know about that, but hey, I guess we'll have to see, right? I guess we'll see.
In fact, prior to her entering the courtroom, up until every single one of them is brought to justice.
I do believe there's going to be a lot of curveballs. I do believe there's going to be a lot of interesting things. And what I will say is, be vigilant. We're getting started.
Wait, that's her outside the court? Day one of testimony. Oh, she's out there in the streets. Huh. Hey, we'll see, man. Because it's been a lot of evidence that has been presented. So, 8 months.
Is this a reckoning for the music industry?
Oh, it needs to be. And if it wasn't, I hope my presence starts that.
She also said the reason why Diddy wasn't caught years ago is because the authorities failed to properly investigate the R. Kelly case, because if they did, they would have pieced it together that Diddy was getting up to the same things too. Unfortunately, it took Cassie filing her lawsuit for them to wake up and investigate Diddy. And within weeks of them doing it, they discovered so many things that should have already been exposed.
This case that happened in the R. Kelly case, because if that had been properly addressed, this would have been addressed back then. These people have been working together, all in cahoots for all of this time, and it needs to all be addressed. I'm glad it's not just me anymore. I'm glad it's someone else. I'm glad there are other people who need to be heard. I'll be sure. I'm glad they're hearing him. Cassie, I'm glad they're hearing her. Kim Porter, through, I'll be sure. I'm glad. Natanya Rubin, I'm glad. All of these things. So yeah, it's mixed emotions, but I just know when you pray for something and God answers it, you should be happy.
As usual, people had their own thoughts, like this person who said, absolutely come forth. What they did to him was horrific and wrong. He should reclaim his life, seek justice, get mental help, compensation, and rise like a phoenix despite them. Broke my heart to see the damage they caused the young man. Another person said, Jag has bigger balls than all the men who have ruled the world unchecked. All the parents who sold their child's soul for fame will reap what they have sown. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Jaguar submitting Bryce Sheer's tape?
I don't know, man. I'm going to have to go on her page and see if that's true. But I will say this. 8 months, stay tuned. More is going to come out. It's going to get crazier. It's going to get darker. And as more people start to testify, you'll see what he's actually being charged for. Like, share, and comment below. Peace out.